Hiya! Thanks for joining me today. Today I'm going to answer a question from Bo Burgess, which is about wardrobe, clothes, fashion, how you find things and how you can adapt a wardrobe without having too much in the way of burden on your expenses or burden on, let's say, relationship aspects, how you justify spending this much clothing on a completely different side of you or something that maybe is more selfish towards yourself. Now, Bo had some very nice things to say about my outfits and the things that I wear. To be clear, I probably have about 10 dresses and I have maybe 5 or 6 nice skirts, a few tops, and I have various little bits and pieces of t-shirts and other stuff, that kind of things. I don't really have an enormous wardrobe. The dresses is really where I've done a lot and I've got a number of things that I can wear. Having said that, because of styling and fashion and different types of dresses for different occasions, I end up wearing the same dresses quite a bit. So I wear the same sort of 3 or 4 dresses a lot, and a couple of them either because they're a little bit tight-fitting for me, not quite as slim as perhaps I should be to wear them. It's something that I have to think about, could I get into them, or really I have to optimize my shape to be able to wear them. So I end up using the same things over and over again. And what I find is quite interesting is how you can find a way to adapt your purchasing habits, which is very difficult to do unless you have a good bit of experience behind you. So the first thing I'm going to say is I probably wasted a lot of money when I first started out on buying clothing. I would buy items that were not really well suited to me. It took me a while to understand what I really liked. More importantly, it took me a good while to understand how different brands would suit or fit me better under different circumstances. So it took me some time to work out that Axe Paris, whatever you want to call them, and Lipsy are brands that tend to fit me quite well. This is a Lipsy dress. This dress, even though it's got the lace sleeves, which can be a bit of a problem if you've got larger arms, it still fits me pretty well. It's a nice dress and I can get this on. It's quite figure hugging. It's a size 14, but I can find that in some brands I'm a size 16, some I'm a size 14. I've even got a couple of 12s that I can wear. And with that in mind, it's very difficult to spend wisely when you cannot be quite sure about how you should be doing that. The main thing is about sizing. So when I first started out buying dresses, I bought a few items where I was quite lucky and I liked them, but I had a number of things that I then had to return or had to sell, I had to get rid of them, and I wanted to refocus myself on understanding what fit. So I went to a couple of online stores and I went to Boohoo and ASOS. Went online, I tried to find a few items, different styles, but nice dresses, things that kind of fit me. And for very little amount of money, we're talking maybe, let's say, total of £30, £40, no more than that spent, I was able to gather together a number of cheapish dresses, compare the types of styles, compare how they fit, and try and work out what would really work well for me. The main reason for doing this was that when I came to actually then order something for myself, I wanted to give myself, a nice branded item, the best possible chance of buying something that would fit me very well. And I came to learn very quickly that I'm a 12, naturally a 12 on my hips, and I'm pretty much a 16 on my top. A lot of people have similar sort of characteristics, dimensions. So 16 up top, sometimes a 14 in a dress. Weirdly enough, I'm a 12. I'm a 12, tend to be in my hips. 16 on my top if I'm buying a shirt or a top or something like that. But if I'm buying a dress, I'll typically end up in a 14. And once I work that out from cheaper items, from buying things from Tesco or George, if you're in America, buying things from Walmart, that kind of cheaper item, you can spend a little bit of money, get to know your sizes, understand what works well, especially when you're wearing things like breast forms and maybe you're just wearing a bra, then you change to breast forms. You know, you're going to be changing your shape a little bit, and it's a good way to do it without investing in an awful lot of money. To my mind, I got together enough items to make that decision and to get that education process out of the way for roughly the same as expense as one very nice dress or two decent dresses. So spending 40, 50, 60 pounds on cheaper items to get your sizing right and to give yourself confidence of what does and doesn't work for you is a much better way of doing things, I find. And then I've graduated beyond buying dresses through shops where I can return them. So now I know what my dress size is. Now I know what my top size is, bottom size is. I can shop with more confidence, and I will shop much more now from eBay than I do from anywhere else. So a lot of my clothes are secondhand. I don't buy much in the way of new clothes anymore. There's two reasons for that. I like the shopping experience. I like going out and browsing and shopping, but it means when I work from home, there's less opportunity for me to do that. I've got to go out the weekend. I save my weekends for my family. So I don't have great times and opportunities to go out and do that. It's much easier for me to browse at home and look for items online. When I'm doing that browsing at home, I can find things, I can track things down on eBay. I know what I like. I can get really good items. I, for example, like jewels. I really like the brand Jewels for casual wear. And I can pick up a Jewels top for £8, £9, £10. I'd far rather do that than buy Jewels tops as standard. So it's a nice way to be able to grab designer labelled items that you really, really like. In fact, I'll show you this item which I got recently. Let me go and get this item. I'll be back in a second. So this is one of my most recent purchases from eBay. This is a Karen Millen top, black top. It's got lace detailing around the top here, basically around the neckline, around the bosom line. Very nice fine lace, which is fantastic. It's a nicely fitted soft material. The size is I guess it's a 16, which would be fairly typical for me. It is indeed a 16. So it's a size 16, fits really well. It's great. It's got slight sort of ruching on the sides here where it's gathered up slightly on the sides, which brings it in a little bit here, which I like. It's a nice length. So the length is great for wearing over a pair of jeans. So it's a really good length for casual wear, but it's just smart enough that you could wear it out as well at night. So it's a great day to evening wear kind of item. Got this on eBay. I think it cost me, including postage and packing, £10. But for a Karen Millen black top, it's great value for money. It's perfect quality. I've got no issues whatsoever with the quality. It's a great item. That's a bargain. So that is my main tip. That's what I tend to do mostly these days. I will tend to find things that I think work for me in the best way possible, shopping online through eBay. If I buy something that just doesn't go, I put it back on eBay and sell it. So that's an easy way to get things done. It's much more economical. You can spend a bit of time doing what you want to do, have fun, get online and have a little browse around. My main tip for going on eBay is I try to filter out all the things I want. Definitely filter on brands that I really like. I don't bother ever filtering on colour because I don't care about colour. Colour is what colour is. I think if something's interesting to me, I don't really mind what the colour is. But I filter out my brands that I want to be able to find, and I tend to filter on things that are coming up for auction soon. So the auction's expiring very soon, and that way it's a little bit more engaging. It's less interesting if you're watching something that's going to be completing auction in, let's say, 7 days time. I much prefer to follow something that may be finishing in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 50 minutes, and just pop onto eBay and see what's there, see what's on eBay. I love that, and it means you could have something with you in a couple of days time, and I like that. I've had generally good success. I would say 80% of the items I buy on eBay these days fit, and I'm happy with the quality. The rest of them, it's mainly fit issues. So my jewels tops, for example, which I love, if I buy them in slightly more size, jewels tops are cut very short. So on me, they will only just, if I pull them down, come to my waistline. So as a shortcut top, they're not that good. You know the sort of jewels polo shirts, pink shirts, they do the yellowy shirts. They're lovely, really love them, but the height is just not good enough for them. So I ended up giving that one to my wife. It's a bit big for her, but she could use it as a nice casual top. Again, it cost me £7, I think. So it's not a big deal. As long as you've got someone to share them with. My wife loves jewels, and she can get some unexpected benefits from doing this with me. So it all works out for everyone in the end, and that's the best way to maintain harmony. The other thing to remember is that keeping your budget down, the other part of the question is around how do you keep your budget down? How do you not let this interfere with your relationship status, for example? And that's how I do it. I go online and I shop, but I shop for me and I shop for my wife. So it's not a case that I'm always buying presents for me and I'm buying stuff for me. You have to do a couple of things in my book. Number one, don't stop spending money on your male self. If your male self doesn't look good, that's going to annoy your wife. And if you're spending all your money on your female self or your cross-dressing side, that's going to get annoying very fast. So make sure you look good. If you look good generally, you can get away with buying these items for yourself. Doing it at a budget through eBay is great. It's a perfect way to keep the cost down so you're not being accused of swallowing up money that could have gone on other things. And I show my wife everything. I show her everything. I show how much it costs. Before I bid on it, I give her an idea. I'll say I'm not going above this much price. And that way it's clear, it's all up front, it's all out in the open, none of this is hidden away. My wife doesn't find new items of clothing buried at the back of my wardrobe. She knows about everything I buy. I show it to her, and if it's too small for me, she may well end up having it. We've developed similar-ish tastes, which helps. So that way of budgeting is very, very useful. And as I said, while I'm shopping online or shopping in general, I'm looking for my wife. So I find the best way to maintain a good relationship with your partner is around clothing to A, make sure you look good as your male self. And if you see something that's good for her while you're doing your little budget shopping, get something for her as well. So it's not just a you thing, it's an us thing, and sometimes she benefits as well, and that can be really, really useful. It certainly helps me, may not work for you depending on the circumstances. It may just be a pure budget thing for you. But you can't get much better than educated eBay shopping. Works a treat. And like I said, when I can buy something like this from eBay for a tenner, this is a class item. This is a really, really class item. And I'll be wearing this for years. Because I don't wear things very often. It's not going to get much washing. It's going to be in good nick for a long time. So this goes in my sort of keep a look after it pile. I've got a general pile, or let's say hung up in my wardrobe. I've got a general pile of clothes which are, yeah, you know, it's the old F&F stuff. It's the old Tesco stuff, the old Asda stuff, or ASOS, Boohoo, cheap stuff. And that stuff I just, you know, it gets washed and I wear it whenever I feel like it. But these kind of nice items, I look after them well. And I buy carefully, considerately, and occasionally. That's my main tip. So, hopefully that answers your question, Bo. Thanks for asking me that one. I will try and share some more of the things I bought. This dress, by the way, I've worn this several times before. It's an old dress, it's a Lipsy one, and it's one that I've just managed to get back into again. So, got my summer weight back down again, or heading into sort of summertime, getting my figure back down again to be able to get into these things, which is good. I've been looking forward to that for a while. So I like this number. This is a very nice dress. It's got a nice sort of cutout at the back. Generally speaking, I can keep the bra strap below this cutout. You can't really see that very well maybe because of the hair, but nice sort of keyhole pattern at the back. The arms, I don't need this. Obviously my arms are bare, so I don't really need the lacy arms, but it's nice anyway. It's nice to have something that covers your arms. It can make your shoulders look a little less big. Mine aren't too bad, but I like this. It's a nice outfit. It works well. The dress itself is a nice lace. It's got a nice sort of green slip underneath. So you've got the lace on top, green slip underneath, and it all, yeah, this one comes together really well. It's a nice outfit. It's a bit tight on the chest. That's the only problem with it. So I don't wear this with my breast forms. I wear it with just a padded bra underneath, which makes me a little bit bottom heavy, but I don't mind that. It's nice to change things up every now and again. Thank you for the question, Bo, and thank you for joining me for this video today. Hopefully that will answer your questions. If there's anything else you want to know, please do let me know in the comments down below. If there's any tips or recommendations for anyone else on good places to go and buy items, I do buy through Amazon as well, but nowhere near as much as I buy through eBay. Feel free to let me know in the comments down below as well. Always great to share some tips and advice from anyone. If you want to get a hold of me to ask any questions, you can do so through my website, which is www.julietnoir.uk, and the links are in the description down below, as well as the link to my email address, which is julietteisnoir@gmail.com. So thanks for joining me here today. Hope that was useful. Look forward to talking to you again soon, and as ever, bye! Bye!